Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over my drop shot rig and all the details about it, all the juicy stuff. Nothing really juicy about it, but you know, the rig that I use that I depend on day in and day out to help me catch fish on the drop shot. But before we get into that, I want to do a shout out to these guys right here, Fish Addictions. They have a lot of really good content right now on their channel. Go check them out. They're also on Instagram. Check them out on there too. They got a lot of ice fishing content going on too. So I can't bring you in any ice fishing content, and for right now, I just can't get out right now. So if you're looking for some ice fishing content, some good stuff, go check them out. I highly recommend them. I'm partnered with them. They are awesome. A lot of good people over there. Really good all the way around. So check them out. But right now we're going to get into this gear setup for my drop shot rig. I'm not a really big drop shot fisherman, and I got into it, you know, a few years ago when I was just getting my tail just stomped left and right on some of these smallmouth waters. Well, you know, drop shot really isn't just for smallmouth. You know, you can use them for, you know, spotted bass. You can use them for largemouth too. You know, you can drop shot a finesse worm. You can do that for smallmouth too, but really what I wanted to get into it for was smallmouth, because I just kept getting my tail kicked. So, and I want to learn more about it. So I did some research, and there's certain different rod lengths that you want to start with. So for example, if you're just doing more vertical stuff, part of my research, and I've tried it out and it's pretty accurate. You want to go with more of a 6'9" action. There's not action, sorry. A 6'9" rod length. More of a medium to medium light rod action. I prefer medium. It's a little bit stiffer, but that's just what works for me. A lot of guys are gonna prefer medium light. So one of those two, 6'9", if you're gonna be close to the boat, but if you're gonna do a lot of casting and dragging and reeling, me personally, I prefer a 7-footer. And I've actually been using this rod. It's 7 foot even, medium, 7 foot 0 inch medium action rod, or medium power rod. It is fast action, so it doesn't have a parabolic bend, so you really got to be careful with, you know, when you're fighting the fish at the boat. So far I've been pretty lucky. It's been working for me. If you find that you're throwing the same rod and you're having issues losing fish at the boat, go with or they're just coming off, try a bit more of a parabolic bend and see how that works. So usually you're going to want to go with a moderate fast action, and try that. A medium with a moderate fast action, or just go to a fast action and a medium light rod. Personally, I've been using a 7-footer. It actually still works pretty good, you know, up by, you know, just down by the boat, or, you know, like right next, just over the side of the boat, I mean, or if I'm casting and just dragging it. And that's just what's worked great for me. And this is a custom rod, so I mean, this is one that I've built. I don't do a lot of building anymore. It's just because I have a hard time finding time to build the rods. I don't like to rush them. I like to make sure I get them built just right. I want to build them. I build every rod the way that I would want it built. You know, the way that I want it. You know, if I build a rod and I wouldn't fish with it, I'm not happy with it. So, and it takes time. It takes time. Custom rods are expensive, but this is one that I built, and this has been working really well for me. The grips that I have are the wing grips, so the rubberized grips. I like those, especially when it's wet out. You got tons of grip right there, and I always like the comfort palm, you know, so that way when you're like that, it just sits nice and comfortable in your hand, and you're good to go. Okay. The other thing, so with that, you know, we'll jump to the reel. There's probably 1,000 ways to set up these drop shots. There's 1,000 different drop shot setups out there. So take it with a grain of salt. You know, if I mean, what works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So But if you haven't done a lot of drop shotting, you know, you can start with this rig and go from there. You know, I've, you know, figured it out, and you know, if you're gonna do a lot of guys will just stick with a 6'9" or 6'10" length, and that is a good place to start. If you're gonna do a lot of casting, you gotta get it out there. And you know, even if you're not getting it way out there, but you're doing some casting, a 7-foot rod is gonna give you a bit more leverage over a 6'10". You know, the extra 2 inches, it really does help a little bit, and it does help you cast a little bit further, a little bit less, with less effort. It makes it easier to cast out there. Sometimes you see a fish out there about 80 feet. You gotta get this way out there, and if it's windy out, it ain't happening. But if you have a little bit longer of a rod, you might be able to make it happen. But if it's windy out, good luck. Anyways, with the reels, this is a Quantum Smoke. It's an older reel. You know, it's just their regular smoke reel. It's not like the Speed Freak. It's the all black reel, and it's the 30 size. The line I've got on here, it's you can see it's chartreuse, you know, colored line, yellow line, and that's mainly for me just so I can see the line just jump. Because if I'm looking for, if I've got it down there, out there, and I'm dragging it, and if I just stop it and just kind of holding it, I see that line jump, then I know something's got it. So I can just reel up and can do a reel set and get the fish in. So that's why I like that. But it's a 10-pound braided, Suffix braided line, yellow line, and then I go to a 10-pound Suffix fluorocarbon leader, and I'll usually go about minimum, if I'm going to do a new leader, minimum of 15 feet. And the reason for that is because sometimes you get, you know, hung up in the rocks and you got to break off. At least this way, if you break off, you might be able to put on another 1 or 2 more rigs, you know, before you got to put on a new leader. And my leaders I've been tying are with the FG knot. I don't know, can you see that? It is so hard to see, I'm sorry. But tied with an FG knot, and I call it a modified FG knot because I combine a couple different styles in it. It's been working great. I mean, I've even used this on the same knot, different line, of course, on a flipping and pitching setup. The only issues that I have is that sometimes the knot picks up grass, depending on how far down in it is. Sometimes it picks up grass. That's the only issue I've ever had. But it's a strong knot the way that I tie it. Maybe I'll do a tutorial later, but I'll tie that FG knot because, you know, you got small guides. Oh, hang on here. You got small guides here you're trying to go through. So 10-pound, you know, and even so you got 10-pound braided line. It doesn't have to be the chartreuse or whatever yellow color line. It can be whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. And then down to a 10-pound fluorocarbon line. You know, a lot of guys are going to go to 8 and even lighter. Some guys will go like maybe like an 8-pound braided line to like a 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. I just can't, because it's just, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to lose fish. Plus, on this exact setup, I've caught a lot of smallmouth bass on this exact setup. So if it's working, why would I want to? In clear water too, mind you, in clear water too. So and the hook that I use for this is it's gonna be hard to see the hook, but it's a go like this. Whoops, the weight fell out. It's a VMC #1 drop shot hook, and it's got the little keeper, the little fluorocarbon keeper here for the plastic. It's hard to see it. It's hard to see it. Here, I'll get it out real quick, so you guys know what I'm talking about. That little keeper really helps keep the bait on there, and really does help. So there it is there. See that little fluorocarbon keeper there? There it is there. So this is the, it's called the Finesse, and it's #1 size hook. I love this hook for drop shot. It really sticks them. I have really good luck with it. And it's not too big, and it's not too small. It is just right. And then for leader wise, and what I mean by leader wise, I mean weight leader. I will actually do about 18 inches. I'll do 18-inch leader, and then I like these little. I'm trying to do this here. It's still rigged up there, but I do these little where it's like the pinch style, so you can pinch it on the line, and at the end of the line there, at the very end, I tie like just some weird big knot, and so that's just so that way the weight doesn't slide off too easy. You are going to get hung up a little bit, so there's going to come a time when you're going to get hung up, and it's going to break. But that's okay. When you pull on it, sometimes it snaps at the hook. Sometimes it'll snap here, and this is where I'm looking for, snapping here. Now I don't want it to, because this is a tungsten weight. Tungsten weights are expensive, but that's okay. I mean, sometimes you gotta do it with rocks. And now I'm not an expert on weight styles and what's good in where, but I've been using these cylinder weights, and I'll use them in grass. I'll use more of a teardrop weight if I'm gonna drop shot in grass, because I feel like it hangs up a little bit less. But if I'm going through rocks, I feel like this comes through the rocks just a little bit better, a little bit less wedging and hanging up. So this is 3/8 ounce, and I mean I start big. So that's my standard. 3/8 ounce weight is my standard, and it's been working out great for me. So I have no reason to change. Now, if I do need a little bit slower rate, or if I'm fishing shallower, I will go down to a 1/4 ounce. I'll go down to a 1/4 ounce drop shot weight. And I even have half, 3/4, and 1 ounce. No, I don't have 1 ounce, but I have half and 3/4 drop shot weights in case I gotta get it way out deep and throw a little bit bigger baits on there. So bring it down a little bit faster. So that is my weight, my hook, your bait of choice. You know, I don't know. You can throw a lot of different things on a drop shot. Play around with what works on your body of water. You know, if it's a craw, you know, do something realistic, like a realistic craw, or I mean, just do a small stick bait. You know, like kind of like a Ned rig. Sometimes those work really good on there, or just do a finesse worm. Try it out, experiment, and see what works on your body of water. And trying to think what else to, you know, talk to you guys about with this. But yeah, what you want to do if you're new to drop shotting and you don't have a lot of confidence in it, like when I was like new to it and I didn't have confidence in it, I'm trying to learn it. What I did is I took it, I just went out and I rigged up 1 or 2 rods, just drop shot setups, and I just fished them all day long, all day. I didn't pick up anything else. I mean, the frog bite could have been just hopping. I didn't do it. I didn't pick it up. No. I stuck with this all day long for a couple weeks. And, you know, I mean, I say a couple weeks, I don't fish every single day. So, I mean, what, 2-3 weekends, okay? But I stuck with it and started getting some bites. I started, you know, getting used to, okay, what do the bites feel like? Okay, when do I set the hook? Do I hang on to it, or do I let them grab it and hold on? What do you do? So feel it out, and, you know, have a couple rods rigged. You are gonna lose some weights, okay? You are gonna lose some weights, especially if you're fishing in rocks and boulders, around rocks and boulders. You're gonna lose some weights, you're gonna lose some hooks, you're gonna lose some rigs. So be prepared for that, and don't get upset. Re-rig, get back out there, and go get your next big smallmouth or largemouth, and hopefully it's your PB. Give it a shot, see what you think, and hey, if this ends up working for you guys, let me know in the comments. If it doesn't, if something else works for you, hey, let me know in the comments on that too. You know, I'm willing to take, I'm willing to hear the other side too, because I'm no expert at drop shot fishing. I only know what works for me, and you know, maybe there's something out there that I just don't know. I don't realize what's working, and maybe it's something I can change in my own setup too. So thank you guys for watching and sticking around for this. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Help me grow this channel, and we'll catch you in the next video.